everyone, I'm Georgia and this is The Sound of Georgia. Today I'm going to try and answer the question, how old is Alexander Hamilton in Hamilton? We're not going to be looking at the real guy. There's going to be debate on when he was born until the end of time. Just like there will be debate on whether he and Lawrence were a thing, or whether he and Angelica were a thing, or what Eliza really thought of the affair. But we're not talking about this Hamilton, we're talking about this Hamilton. But the reason I'm doing that is because the musical could be seen as contradicting itself, in a way. When you look at the musical, there's moments where it could be either. So even though we're not looking at the real guy, we're going to have to talk a little bit about it so we have a starting point. And the other night I finished reading this book, which is absolutely hysterical. And it talks a little bit about when he was born and why there's the debate. So I'm just going to read you the section of it that talks about that. So it says, for nearly 200 years, most scholars accepted that Hamilton was born in 1757. One key bit of evidence, Hamilton himself cited 1757 as his birth year. Then in 1939, a newly discovered document from a St. Croix probate court pointed to the birth year of 1755. Basically, it comes down to one of two things. Either 1. Hamilton lied about his age, or 2. The clerk made a mistake. I knew that that was the gist of it going into the book, but the feeling I always got before I read the book was that it was multiple documents that he had written that pointed at 1755. And according to the book, it's not. So I'd say that kind of pushes up the possibility of him being born in 1757. And I say that because from what I have seen, I think most people seem to believe 1755. So now that we've established all that, it's time to move on to the musical. Obviously his age is mentioned plenty of times throughout the musical, starting with the very first song. But the ones I'm really going to be focusing on are the two moments in My Shot and Hurricane. They seem to be the best ones to give us an answer, and they're the ones that can kind of contradict each other, as I said the show does at the beginning. So in the book, when it talks about the theory that he lied, it was to make himself seem like more of a prodigy, and because he didn't want to be older than everybody else at uni. And honestly, given everything we see in the musical, I wouldn't really put that past him. But at the same time, from what I also read in the book, it seemed like this guy didn't lie. Like, at all. Heck, we all know there were moments when he was too truthful. Reynolds Hamlet. But the reason people think he fibbed is important to My Shot. So the obvious line is the one at the beginning, only 19 but my mind is older. My Shot is set in 1776. So if he's only 19 in 1776, that would indicate a birth date of 1757. And I also have no doubt that that line is meant to line up with the line in Blow Us All Away. But then later on in My Shot there's also the line, see I never thought I'd live past 20. Wouldn't that indicate he's older than 20? Granted, this does not disprove the rest of My Shot at all. By now he probably knows he's going to live past 20. But nevertheless, it's still something to think about. Now remember the reason people who believe 1755 thought he fibbed. In My Shot he's talking to other people. Other people he would not want to know he's actually 21. And then he's talking more to himself than anybody else in the see I never thought I'd live past 20 line. So My Shot seems to overall indicate 1757. But now we're going to move on to Hurricane, because this is the complete opposite. Now the hurricane that got him off the island was in 1772. And the lyric in the song is, when I was 17 a hurricane destroyed my town. So you do the maths. So at first glance it would seem like the songs completely contradict each other. And for a long time it did make me think. But then I realised Hurricane is about him writing the Reynolds pamphlet. In Hurricane he's not talking to anyone like he is in My Shot. But more than that, he is being completely honest in this song. At this point in the show he has no reason to try and convince anyone that he was actually 15 when the hurricane came. Interestingly, neither 1755 nor 1757 line up with him being 12 when his mother died. He would have either been 11 for 57 or 13 for 55, because she died in 1768. So because that's smack bang in the middle, let's just put that down to creative license. It wouldn't be the only date that's changed around in the musical. The Room Where It Happens would have taken place before the affair started. The Duel in 10 Dual Commandments took place before he married Eliza. And everything with Philip was pushed up by a year. But of course there's one thing I haven't mentioned at all yet. And that is what Lin thinks. And from what I can tell from all the interviews I've seen with him, it seems like Lin goes with 1755. And putting that with everything I've mentioned, I think it's safe to say that the Hamilton in Hamilton was born in 1755. Everything in the show suggests 1755. And that one moment in my shot which seems to suggest otherwise, if you actually look at the context and what everybody thinks, also indicates 1755. If he did lie about his age, that is exactly when he would do it. So this Hamilton we will probably never know. This Hamilton, I think it's safe to say he was born in 1755. But let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree, or do you think Linz Alexander Hamilton was born in 1757? Or something else entirely? And also, what do you think for real life? I'm on the 1757 side, especially after reading this book. And read the book. It's hilarious. And it's actually pretty easy to understand. Many of the details of Alexander's life and this time in history in general confused the heck out of me. But this one was actually really easy to understand. I first listened to the album just over 2 years ago, and I've wanted to see this show since pretty much then. Is it 2021 yet? I am still completely obsessed. And that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my video next week. So long, farewell!